So, it's been a while. I've been pretty busy, you know, I've been keeping clean sheets, I've been making saves, not conceding. I'm in the process of deleting a lot of older goalkeeping videos. I'm basically remaking them for FIFA 22. I want to make sure that they're updated, I want to make sure that they're new and fresh, and that you guys are getting the latest and best information. So basically, I did a video a while ago on the things that you should not do as a goalkeeper. I've watched that back and I want to add to that video. I want to remove a couple of things, and I want to make sure that you guys, my fellow goalkeepers, are getting the best possible information. Before we get started, I just want to say that below is my Discord link. There's channels for each position, you can upload your clips, you can talk anything about pro clubs, and I'll be in there. But anyways, let's get into all the things that you shouldn't do as a goalkeeper. The first thing that I want to give a big no to is flicking or spamming your right stick. Let's start off with flicking. Pretty much the main problem with it is the fact that it generates just weak, half-assed dives. Genuinely, the animations that you get just leave you scratching your head. And when you're in a higher division, when you're playing competitions, or even if you're playing in a lower division, you can't be risking getting bad animations. You have to be doing everything in your control to make sure that you get the saves. And not only that, the second bad thing about it is the fact that it does not register all of the time. You know, if you flick really quickly and then you let go, sometimes it's not going to be registered in game. So you're going to be standing there like a statue, and I know a lot of people have had that problem. And the third reason is just why? Why would you do it to yourself? Whenever you dive, whether it's a long shot or whether it's a shot in your box, you have to be holding your right stick until you make the save. Did anyone watch Mythbusters? I should have submitted this. Hold your right stick, like you see in this clip here. I'm in my auto position, I'm in a good starting position, lovely dovely. Then when I predict that he's going to shoot, just before it, I take a little step, and as I'm stepping, I dive with my right stick and I hold it. The main two things being, I hold my right stick when he connects with the ball, not before it, and I hold it up until the point that I make the save. They don't teach you that in school. And before we move on to the second big no, I have to mention not to spam your right stick. Again, I'm getting a lot of people saying that they're getting statue animations, and it's as a result of this. You have to dive once, and if you dive the wrong way, then you have to quickly change it up. But you can't go left, right, up, down, 180, cross map, no scope. There has to be control. You have to take a big... You have to be in control. In at number 2 is another myth that people have somehow come up with. Again, I don't know where these are coming from, and that is the use of L2 or L trigger when you're diving. People have told me that by holding L2 when you dive, it makes your goalkeeper more agile. You guys are likely going to get to more shots, he's a bit more reactive. No, do not hold L2 or LT when you dive, or at any stage, really. You don't need it. All it's doing is literally distracting you from the buttons that you need to be using, like your left stick, your R1, your right stick, your triangle, etc. You know, if you're concerned about holding L2 and you want to add that to the mix of buttons that you already got to use, you're wasting time, effort, and again, it's just a distraction. Now, number 3 on our list, and it's something that's dated back FIFA generations, and it has to do with the button that you use to dive, whether it's right stick or whether it's square, triangle, X, circle, Y, B, X, Y, Z. Using your right stick is the obvious option, but people say otherwise. They say that your buttons are the way to go, and your goalkeeper's going to get even better animations if you use them. And to anyone that says that, I'm sorry to rain on your parade. I'm sorry that I'm being a negative Nancy, but just use your right stick. Buttons offer you nothing when you're trying to save a shot. Literally nothing. So don't overthink it, don't try to get fancy with it, just use your right stick, plain and simple, because that's the best way that you're going to get good saves. Rule number 4, make sure that you're watching Bella Delphi while you're goalkeeping. Okay, real talk, don't just rely on your left stick. That's number 4. Come on, don't do that. Now, like I've said in so many of my previous videos, your left stick is so important. If you manage to utilize it properly by stepping into the direction that you think your opponent's going to shoot, as he's swinging and connects with the ball, like this clip here, that's the best time to use it. But generally speaking, if that's the only thing that you're using, you know, if you're running around with your left stick, basically, if you're ignoring the fact that you have an auto position on your controller, you're at a huge disadvantage. Do not ignore your auto position. It's not amateur-y, it's not newbie. It is one of, if not the most important buttons on your controller. So use your left stick, but use it where it's appropriate. In at number 5 on our list, and it's to not red time your saves. Now, you might be thinking that there's no such thing. You might be thinking that I'm just an idiot. You're right on the second part, but there is a perfect time to dive. Take this clip for example. Look at my right stick stick on the top right corner. Now just note that there's about a half-second delay from my controller to what I'm actually doing IRL, but even still, look at when I'm diving now. If you can get it half a second earlier, it's perfect. Again, this clip here, I wouldn't be able to get to the shot if I didn't time when I dive and if I didn't step with my left stick. See, if you dive too early, it's going to penalize you and you're not going to be able to get a good animation. That is if you get a diving animation. You might just get the statue animation that everyone complains about. And the same can be said with diving too late. So if you don't time when to hold your right stick and dive, you're leaving yourself very vulnerable to conceding. Again, think of this timing as your green release. If you time it really well, you're going to get good animations. Now, everything that I've said up to this point here, it's set in stone. It's just a fact. However, just to end it off, I'm gonna do a couple quick fire ones that are just a little bit more subjective. These are a bit more of my opinion, and you might disagree with me, but to start off first, it's to just bin your save assistance. What do I mean by that? I just mean stop worrying about it. So many goalkeepers now, that's the focal point. That's all they can think of whenever they concede a shot. Oh, I conceded this goal because of my save assistant. No, you didn't. It's genuinely the most misinterpreted thing as a ProClubs goalkeeper. So stop blaming your save assistants. Honestly, just put it on default and stop worrying about it. Don't change the settings too much, because your save assistance is just a distraction on the actual things that make a difference. Like how to rush out of your box, how to read where your opponent's going to shoot, how to come out for crosses, when to dive, how to position yourself. You know, all of these things are so much more important and actually make a difference. Make a promise with me right now to stop blaming your save assistant, just to put it on default and to forget about it. The second quickfire point, and this one is it's just weird, and it's to not touch your D-pad. Don't do it. There's some curse on it. I'm telling you, there's just some superstition that I have with your D-pad where if you celebrate in front of a player, if you celebrate after you make a save, you're just trying to take the piss. I just feel like it adds too much pressure. The opposition is going to be after your head. Your guy forgets he has hands, he's allergic to the ball, he doesn't know where he is. So yeah, I just shy away from using the D-pad at all. I don't want no superstitious aids going against me. Another quickfire point, and it's to generally not use your R2 and your R trigger. This clip is the perfect example of when you need to be using your R2, and that is when you make a save initially and then you have to get up quickly and run to the spot that you think he's going to shoot. It's when you have no time to be in a starting position. But other than when you're trying to make double saves, you don't want to be using your R2. All it does is get you in really bad positions, which is a big no. Your guy genuinely gets some dodgy animations and you're running around like you don't have a clue what's going on. You're the epitome of the drop-ins kid. Okay, that's it. Hopefully I've helped you out just a little bit. Hopefully I've clarified a couple of things for goalkeeping, and hopefully this video has made your life a little bit easier. We are all goalkeepers. We got to stick together. You know, GK Union. Let me know what you think down below, and fingers crossed, I'll see you soon.